Welcome back and good day, everybody. Today we're going to be showing you how to germinate and plant a kumquat tree. For those of you who don't know what a kumquat tree is, it's a beautiful little evergreen citrus tree. And like most things, it'll vary in size depending on the size pot you put it in, or depending on where you live. If you can plant it outdoors, they will grow 6-8 feet tall outdoors. But in my area, I'll be planting it and growing it in a pot. I want to put it in a fairly large pot eventually, because I would like it to get about 3 feet tall. But they can be also like little citrus bonsai type trees. They're beautiful, and I started this process of germinating the kumquat about a month and a half to 2 months ago, and so I've already filmed the entire process, and I'm going to put it all together and play it for you guys right now. Now, when I started filming this, I started filming it in Elk Grove, California from my Hampton Inn hotel room, and that's because I just happened to be on a business trip down there, and I went to this Vietnamese restaurant where I was introduced to the kumquat tree. They happened to be growing one there, and the owner was nice enough to let me pick some fruit off of it. And it's the only citrus fruit that you're really supposed to eat the skin, eat the entire thing. And I really liked it, so I saved the seeds, and with those seeds I started the process and started filming this. So keep in mind that a lot of this was filmed from my hotel room where I didn't have a lot of resources. So I will kind of try to explain the process as I go through, and I'll put up little annotations and notes if I need to clarify things. So hopefully you have annotations turned on so you'll be able to see those. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start the process and show you guys what it's like to germinate and grow a kumquat tree. Okay, here, ladies and gentlemen, is what a kumquat looks like. Now, this one was picked about 4 days ago, so it doesn't look fresh. So sorry I didn't get this video made a couple days ago. But like I said, I'm out of town. I'm away from home. Been away from home for a couple weeks now on a business trip here to Elk Grove, California. And so yeah, I didn't get the video made in time, but this is a kumquat. You can see this is the standard size they get to. With heavier watering, they can get a little fatter, a little more of a rounded shape, but this is an oval shaped kumquat. You do have a round shaped kumquat and an oval shaped kumquat. So wanted to show you what the actual fruit looked like. I don't have a tree to show you what a kumquat tree looks like, but that shouldn't be hard to find on the internet. But yeah, this is what I'm saving the seeds out of, and this is what I'm going to try to grow. Alright, so once you get the seed out, this is what a citrus seed looks like. I'm sure you've all seen one. This particular seed is a lemon seed, and I am demonstrating this first part with lemon seed because I don't have a kumquat seed with me. I did originally shoot this part of the video with a kumquat seed, but I lost that video. Don't worry, it's not detrimental. I can show you this process. Essentially all citrus seeds they're done the same way. They all have this slimy coating on the outside of the seed, and so you want to make sure that you rinse it off, pat it down, dry it, I like to let mine sit out for 10 minutes or so to kind of dry the outer shell of the seed, because when it's slippery it's really tough to handle and it's tough to do this process. But essentially you got a seed inside that you need to get to, and if you don't take this outer shell off, it would take months to germinate, if it ever did in fact germinate. So essentially what you do is you take the seed, take your fingernail, and you can start to try and get your fingernail in there and remove this outer coating. And you can do this, with a lemon seed, orange seed, kumquat seed, any citrus seed. It's gonna have the same coating. And look at that, you can see I've started to peel it away there. I'm kind of trying to do this while not looking directly at the seed. I'm looking through the camera, same as you are. So there it is. So I think that's, oh, we got just a little bit more right here. But that's it. It's just kind of this waxy, slippery coating. And there's a seed once you get it. It's just this dry seed, and it can also be very green in color. A lot of it probably has to do too with how ripe the fruit is when it's picked. If you just go and you buy kumquats in the store, well, actually my wife, when she found out that I was interested in kumquats and I like kumquats, she went and bought some from the store. And the outer skin of the kumquat is very sweet. That's the sweet part. The inner part of it can be quite sour. Obviously, the earlier it's picked, the more sour it is. If you actually pick the kumquat at its peak ripeness, it's really not very sour at all. You maybe just get a hint of sour taste in there. But anything you purchase at the store is picked early. So, because it has to travel for hundreds, thousands of miles sometimes, and the fruit will probably go bad if it was picked at its peak ripeness. So they pick it early, and then it ripens over time. But the problem with that is seeds that you're going to get more than likely are going to be very small, immature seeds, where if you can actually find a kumquat tree somewhere, if you know somebody who has a kumquat or you come across one, if you pick the fruit off of that kumquat tree when it's ripe, you're going to get nice big seeds, and those are going to work the best for this process. So alright, so now I can pick up where the rest of the video clip took off from my hotel room there in the Hampton Inn. Alright, we're back. And apparently I only got one seed because I knocked the other two seeds down the drain. So I got one shot at this, so let's hope it works. Alright, over here I've got my Ziploc bag. Luckily I had this around because I brought my toothbrush and stuff in there. So what we're going to do is I've got some Kleenex. I'm going to wet it and wrap the seed up in it and put it in the plastic bag. So let me grab my bottled water here, because I don't want to use water that's got chlorine and fluorine and all that stuff in it, I'm actually going to grab a second Kleenex. Typically you would use paper towels, but I'm at the hotel. This is what I got. So what we're going to do is put them in here and just wrap them up. One-handed. Alright, so there's the seed. Just gonna wrap them. Then we're gonna take the other paper towel over here. Really sorry about the camera angle, guys. It's like I said, out of town here. Alright, oh, we're not gonna use regular water. We are gonna use the bottled water. So let me set you down here. Gonna get a shot of the sink area here. And soak this kind of nice and good. Nice and wet. Make sure you have clean hands when you're doing this. You don't want to induce any bacteria or anything in there if you can help it. And we're just gonna put it inside the Ziploc bag here. Alright, we're gonna try to get the air out of it. Trying to get the air out of this bag. I really don't think you have to get, you know, like all the air out, but you don't want so much air in there that you're gonna dry out the seed. Of course, if the moisture can't escape, of course it's not gonna dry out, but there it is. From what I hear, you're supposed to put it in a sunny window. I don't really have a sunny window here, but I figured, you know what? Probably doesn't need a whole lot of sun, just needs warmth. And it's pretty warm down here in Elk Grove compared to where I live. It's, you know, in the 70s here, so I'm just going to put it in my suitcase like this, and who knows, maybe by the time I get home next week it'll be ready, it'll be sprouted and ready for potting. Anyway, just wanted to bring that to you, and stay tuned for the update. Alright, welcome back to my indoor garden. So last time you guys saw that I put the kumquat seed in a plastic bag with a wet towel, and now I'm going to show you what we've got going on. Alright, so if you take a look at that same seed that we put in here, you can see it has a lot of root that it started to grow, as well as you know, the little the seedling coming up there. So let me show you what we're going to do with that. Alright, so here's our pot that we've pre-filled with some soil. This soil, by the way, I have some regular potting soil with lots of organic matter, but I've also got a bit of sand, because citrus trees really need drainage. They can get root rot real easy. So I've got sand, some very fine rock dust, as well as some perlite. So what we're going to do, take our little seed, and we want the root to go down in the soil a bit, and then we want our dirt Oop, don't cover up your green part there. Be very careful about pushing this down, because we don't want to take the chance of damaging that root. So we have some nice green growth, and we want to encourage that just ever so lightly tap. We want to encourage that to grow, right? So, a little bit of soil around, and we'll water this in. We'll give it plenty of water to get it started. Now, you sometimes will want to let that little green, the seedling, the leaves grow bigger, taller. But I wanted to get this guy in the soil and get him under the light, and hopefully he'll grow quicker this way. You do have to be careful. If you do them when they're this small, you want to make sure you do it just like I did. Get that root down in the soil. Be very careful about the dirt that you put around it. You don't want to damage it. Water it in, put it under the light, and hope it does well. Alright, so we'll be back in a week or two when this guy starts growing. There he is. Alright, one thing I didn't show you guys when I potted the kumquat seed was the little greenhouse that I like to put on top of it. Because I knew with these citrus seeds that if I didn't keep the humidity in, that they weren't going to do too well. And later, of course, you can remove this greenhouse, but look at how well it's doing, and this is just after 1 day. So it's definitely grown about a centimeter above the soil, and I'll continue to update you and let you know how speedily it grows. I think it's going to grow pretty quickly. Alright, I wanted to give you guys one final shot of the kumquat seedling that I germinated. It'll be a little while before I have another update on this, but just to give you guys a good comparison, if you remember when I first potted this, you could barely even see the guy. It was it's grown about a good half inch since I put him in the pot. You know, first couple days I kept a little greenhouse dome over the top of them to hold the moisture in. But this kumquat is clearly doing very well, and I will be sure to give you guys an update sometime midsummer so you can see what he's doing. But yeah, anyway, that wraps up the whole process of germinating and potting up your kumquat tree. Alright, that last video you just saw was only 5 days after potting, about somewhere in 4 or 5 days after potting, and it's growing pretty quickly. You know, like I said, half inch or more, because when I first potted it, I was really trying to zoom in and focus with the camera, and it was so small it just barely showed up. But 5 days later, you can clearly see the seedling. You can clearly see the leaves getting bigger, So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, ask questions, and please subscribe and share.